Every zombie's different.
Peter's kind of a low-key British zombie.
Yeah. We're a bit more classy.
Zombie Pete.
He's like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, that was cool. Just come forward a step. Turn your head a little. Do something like that again. Can you make a sound?
Ah! I don't know the sound. That's a wrap, everybody.
Hello, my name is Brian Taylor. I'm the writer and director of this film. Please don't watch this making of movie if you haven't seen The Bite already. We started shooting in October. We filmed the end of the movie first. That is Doug Revak. He's been in all my films, and he's about to improvise.
Yeah, definitely a gunshot. You better send somebody. That's like the third gunshot I've heard, and I heard some screaming and arguing earlier. Wow, this is unbelievable. I don't even know if I'm safe here.
Beautiful. That one was good. Do it again, but this time when I like that. I don't know if I'm safe here, but something like that or whatever. But when you're sort of wrapping up, walk out of frame. Like you're getting out of here. Okay.
I don't see anybody, but it come from the up window. Yeah, definitely gonna get away a little bit. Oh man, I gotta get out of here.
None of the footage in this making of video has been altered, unless it's a direct lift from the film. This is Braden Brown. He is Matt Brown's son. Matt is the main character in our film. That was him getting ready to have that portrait taken.
Scream.
Give me one, like, sort of
Only look at me the whole time.
Action.
We only had one day with Braden, and he did a great job. He was very willing to please. He threw himself on the floor over and over again. And he made all kinds of great noises that we used not only for him, but for the other zombies in the film as well.
You ready? Action.
And as Braden was the first zombie to show, or to be filmed, last zombie to be seen, he sort of set the tone for the other actors who had to get up to his zombie bar, which I thought he set pretty high. The cable you see on the left hand of the screen has been digitally removed in the film, but just goes to show that when you're a small crew or no crew, it's much easier to make rookie mistakes like having a cable in your shot. Please don't watch this if you haven't already seen the film. That's Matt Brown there. I'm spilling some homemade blood. We're going to talk about homemade blood quite a bit later. That green hue is achieved by simply putting a green light bulb in the light directly above me. This is the first half of the scene where Matt kills Braden. We shot the more emotional second half, sort of Matt's scene, without Braden being present. We didn't want to traumatize such a young fellow for no reason. This is Peter Howe. He's a friend of mine. We also work together at our day jobs, and he's having his zombie makeup applied by my wife, Dawn Taylor, who did all the makeup for the film, and who I think did an excellent job. I mean, look at that. That's just great. Here is Peter in his scene. This really isn't a point of filmmaking. This more is a personal zombie point. I wanted my zombies to be what I'm calling realistic, in that they don't breathe. This zombie doesn't really make any sounds at all, and they don't know what they're doing. They're all screwed up, easily distracted. Peter staring at a doll on a globe, which was our producer's idea. That's Sally, the doll, the male doll, from Kmart, back when we had Kmart. Sally's the ugliest doll in the universe, with horrible hair and that crazy expression. It was producer Jamie's idea for the zombie to get hung up on that doll.
I was taking every ounce of it.
Oh, that was going to be good, too. Jeez. No, that sniff was awesome.
Bite me, just don't give me that foot and mouth disease. There.
That's too bright, Gene.
The green light
But
in
did you
this
face down there,
sequence. This is a dream sequence. Was, again, just a green light bulb stuck in a little desk lamp. This is my wife, Dawn, who plays Matt's wife in the film. She's doing her best Sam Raimi horror hag faces here for me, also known as Cross-Eyed Zombie. In her own makeup. This is a scene from the film. I figured since this is a making of, everybody's going to want to know about the effects. And here we have a blood splatter on the lens effect that was homemade, and then composited in. There it is without the image in front of it, or behind it, I should say. This is how we did it. We simply pointed the camera at a piece of glass with a black garbage bag behind it, and then squirted blood onto the glass with a turkey baster and filmed it out of focus, because when blood hits a lens, it should be out of focus. Here is the results. And then we can simply make these bigger, smaller, move them around, whatever we need. You can buy blood spurts, but I prefer to make my own. I think everyone should. Great makeup job by Dawn. I love the green hand.
Yeah, just move it a little.
And that overhead shot you saw just a second ago, it didn't get used in the film. It didn't work out logistically. I really wanted to. This footage is filmed by Braden. Holding the cords behind me is my brother-in-law Jonathan, who was a stand-in for Matt, and also is the zombie at the door, which we haven't seen yet. For those who want to know, I use a Panasonic DVX 100A camera because I don't have any money, and it's the cheapest, good quality broadcast camera, 3-chip camera. I'm pretty sure it's the cheapest one you can get these days. I got mine for $600 on eBay. I recommend them highly. They'll shoot in 24p, which helps emulate film, and they're light, and you can hook a Firestore drive up to them if your heads crap out. They've got XLR inputs, which is extremely handy for direct miking. Can't emphasize enough the importance of sound on set and then sound design in post-production. When you watch The Bite, I hope you took a moment to slap on a pair of headphones and, well, enjoy my hard work. We had over 280 bits of data, and half of those easily were sound to manipulate and rearrange to help create maximum spookiness. At least that was the goal. We also wanted to go with a sort of droning, hypnotic tone to the film. That's the sound of...
That was a perfect scene!
There's braided again. That was the sound of the double-sided tape on the boards on the window giving way, and boards come crashing down in the kitchen. But no dishes were broken during the production of The Bite. In this scene, Matt is waking up from the Peter dream sequence, reacting to it in his paranoia. In just a second, we're going to cut to some of that footage, and you'll get to see what almost what the film looked like. It's not color corrected or anything, but notice how much light is happening right here. There's a ton of light. I shoot with more light than what I need, and then I tone it down inside the camera using f-stops, and then I often tone it way further down in post-production as well. You'll see how, look how light it is now.
Okay, let's do it again, please.
Cool.
Everybody ready?
Yep.
Action.
This footage was shot on my cell phone, which is why it's so awesome. Jonathan's arm there.
Go.
That came out of a horror movie.
So this is how dark it is. Not even after color correction or whatever. This is just how dark I make it in the camera.
What, neon lens doesn't work?
So I guess I'm saying
Didn't work for me.
use a lot of light, more light than what you think you need,
What the heck?
and use the camera to pull it back.
Hey! Sorry, you have to do it again? I backed into the microphone. It's all me. Scaring the hell out of me.
I'm going to cut to some friends of mine out in the backyard, sort of standing there, meandering. Those are the backyard zombies. I'm flickering, I'm waving my hands in front of a 500-watt construction light in the backyard as Jonathan, because Matt wasn't there that night, sort of leans in on the right of your screen.
Everybody quiet.
Action!
And here comes Jonathan again as the zombie at the door. This scene is extremely intense in the film. The illusion being created mostly by sound.
We're rolling whenever you're ready.
This was filmed in my spooky basement using just a flashlight. And this scene, this cut is in the film. No real trick here, we simply buried a gun.
Great, perfect, awesome.
Peel back the gauze.
Matt Brown on the left, my wife Dawn Taylor on the right.
I'm sorry.
You got yours right there. No, no, it's
Oh,
okay.
excellent.
I'll have mine. One of my circled ones.
For the peel back the gauze, don't actually peel back the gauze. We'll do a close up of that. Okay.
Yeah, we might have to touch up the makeup too.
Yeah, we don't want to be awful and awful.
Yeah, we don't
It's
want
gonna
to
get all
touch with it
screwed.
because the stuff I put on as the pus is has a oil in it, and the stuff that's the dark brown is like you remove it with oil. So
Dawn, say something.
something.
Say a bunch of things.
Can I have another Tylenol?
Matt,
Stop
say
it, I
something.
don't like it.
Stop it.
That's awesome. I got stereo separation on you asses.
Whenever possible, you should always try to get stereo separation on your asses.
I'm still recording. All of this has been recorded.
Oh, shit!
It's going in the making of. All right.
Release the bandage.
Listen. Just sick.
Another great makeup, the bite on Dawn's arm,
Really, yeah.
done by Dawn.
Just the top, and that's it, right?
Yeah, sure.
Like,
Oh, I guess I should
don't press this
more
down,
here,
but
but
just.
yeah, I would just leave it at that.
Oh, you know what? Watch this.
There's a painted light bulb above
It works
in the overhead light. It's painted yellow and orange and a little bit of red. Got it at the farmer's market. Just casts kind of a gentle yellow hue around the room. And then with that clip-on bed light pointed directly at Dawn, it's basically the whole lighting situation for this room.
Oh my god. She's bleeding.
Nice.
There's blood.
Cool. I just recorded that. Let's do it again for serious.
Okay.
It's a little tighter shot on the bite makeup.
You're gonna have a whole bunch of fun extra footage to watch.
Hmm?
I said you're gonna have a whole bunch of fun extra footage to watch.
Yes.
Unless you're not rolling.
I'm always wrong. Yeah, I like extra footage.
Oh. What about background performer footage? We prefer to be called background performers.
I see, I see. You're top bill on this project.
Yeah,
my friend.
he said extra.
All right. Matt.
It was great to have Matt Brown, who is a professional actor. Everyone else in this film, I'm sure they wouldn't mind me saying they're amateur actors. My wife Dawn did a little theater in high school, for instance, that kind of thing. And I think Braden has had a little training, probably just through Matt. I'm not even sure about that. But Matt, I needed somebody who could actually act, because Matt's role is a very emotional role, and what he goes through is tough. And he did a great job, and he did it with sense of humor, and his ability to go from ordinary guy making a joke to guy crying and killing his family just by me saying the word action was, well, it just made things easy. So thank you, Matt. When you have things in disarray, it's easy to create interesting lighting environments. Horror movies often have great lights, great camera angles, because things are supposed to be weird.
I'm sorry!
Kill him. Homemade gun splatter, wet sound effects, and I took 2 frames out of Braden's head snap to make his head snap down faster. Also, when he fires the gun the first time, there's a flash of white in the room, like the gun flash is lighting up the room. Blood poured under a lamp. That lamp is propped up on little Lego pieces, so the blood didn't even touch it. The idea being that the blood under the lamp is casting this red hue on his face that grows. The red was created in post. This is my tiny little bedroom suite. And we're about to make some splatter sounds, I believe, yes. And they were created very simply by dripping, dropping, and throwing rags on the floor. You can hear that music in the background there. This is me making mouth sounds into a microphone. This is me trying to record the sound of a body flumping on the floor. You can't even hear it here. That's why I'm talking over it. You hear it in the movie. No, you don't even hear it in the movie. Me biting celery because you need sounds of a bite. You do all kinds of weird things into a microphone when you need sounds. The music, that's what I was going to say. The music, which is key to the film, was all provided by Feed Them Brains, which is actually Aaron Howe from England. I'm not even sure what city he's from. He's Peter Howe's brother.
We're going to be kicking
Peter
out
the
this
Dream
door to
Zombie.
try to get some sounds.
He gave me a lot of stuff, and I'm very grateful for that. I was able to use quite a bit of it. Going to whisper sweet nothings into Matt's brain. Raise the pistol. Shooter once in the brain. Raise the pistol and shoot her once in the brain. Raise the pistol and shoot her once in the brain.
quiet things loud is very simple. Normalize. Reduce noise. I just go with the factory because it makes it sound weird and robotic. And then oh yes, an effect. Not that one. Smeared beyond recognition. And then what you get that sounds pretty creepy to me. This is just a section of me putting the first gun flash in when Matt shoots Braden the first time. You're looking at Premiere Pro by Adobe that I've been using, well, forever. I came to learn how to do this through being a musician, actually, and getting into computer recording. I mean, I've always been into computers, but being a musician and into computers, I got into computer recording. I think I used Cubase the most. And when you make audio tracks for a film or for a CD or whatever, you just move information around. And it's not any different when you're editing a movie, except that you get to add gun muzzle flashes and blood splatter, and you have to think visually. The technical aspect can be frustrating at times, but I do like having a complete and total control. I've been making films since I was a kid, and we made them on full-on VHS tapes in the camera. Big old soapbox cameras, and we had to edit on VHS. Needless to say, although our films were highly entertaining, were technically terrible. And computers and digital video have made it so it's at least possible for anyone to make a good film. We filmed for about 6 days. I edited for about 5 days. That includes adding the special effects and whatnot. Those 10 days took 4 months. Basically because we're an all-volunteer film production company, and everyone volunteered their time, and everyone has lives to lead. We all have families and day jobs, for instance. If you can avoid it, I don't recommend shooting your film in your own house. It is convenient in that you're there all the time. You can walk every scene, you could film every scene before you film every scene, which in some cases I did. But your house is in turmoil for 4 months. And that's just for an 18-minute short film.
got 11 tracks of audio. There are upwards of, well, there were 6 or 7 composites at a time on the video tracks, but just here and there. There's some obvious fake blood on the sheets there. Digital blood, not homemade. I did use a little bit of digital blood, which you can find online. This is my recipe for homemade blood. Crown Lily White corn syrup. Doesn't matter what kind, as long as it's clear. A little bit of chocolate syrup. You need the chocolate syrup to increase the opacity, and it helps make it a little darker too. Regular red food coloring. Blue food coloring. You need a couple drops of blue. Some bowls or cups or whatever to mix in. The tomato is optional. Now this has been sped up because it's incredibly boring and probably stupid. But I did get what I thought was acceptable blood for the blood lamp shot. I mixed the chocolate with a little bit of water because the chocolate is a little bit too thick, I think, and you also want to make sure that you don't have any lumps or little sort of bits floating in the blood. That's 1 liter of corn syrup. Now here I'm measuring out 4 teaspoons, of red food coloring, but in the end I'm going to wind up squirting that whole bottle in there because it didn't quite get red enough, and then I think I added too much blue, so I got 2 purples, so I had to sort of bring it back. That's a tube of vampire blood I had lying around. I always make a point of buying as much blood as I can afford to at Halloween time. Although it is much cheaper to just make your own. That looks pretty good.
You remember yesterday we made the blood? Here we are, about to do the hopefully famous blood lamp shot. Camera. Towels. Fire extinguisher and cleaning supplies for safety. Chair. Light reflecting onto the lamp. I'm just going to pour the blood and hopefully it will pool around the lamp in the way we wanted. I'm here with my lovely and talented wife Dawn, who is also our makeup special effects coordinator and camera person.
Don't forget to hit record.
Yes. Hope this works.
Mississippi 2, Mississippi 3, Mississippi 4, Mississippi 5, Mississippi 6,
I had Dawn count
7,
because I wanted to have, I knew I needed 4 to 6 seconds, and I wanted to have an idea of
10, Mississippi
whether or not I was getting it.
12, 13, 14, 15.
1, 2, 3, 4, come on, go. 5, 6, 7, 8.
This didn't work out the way I had envisioned it. But this is the shot that wound up in the movie, and I think it works. We didn't bother doing it again, although we were prepared to. Thank you for listening and watching the making of, and thanks to all the volunteers involved in On-Cue Film Productions and this particular production of The Bite.
appreciate your efforts. I think we made a fine little film, and I look forward to working with you and with others in the future. If you are interested, please go to www.oncuefilm.com. ENQUEUE film.com. Thanks. See you at the movies.